Yo guys, and welcome to my review of episode 54 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, the duel between Goha Yuna and Dr. Sogetsu Manabu. And this season hasn't missed so far. I mean, what an incredible episode from start to finish. We see that Goha Yuna has, I guess you could say, abandoned Rovian in some way, right? Seems like she has separated herself from Rovian, and you can tell that Rovian does feel bad about it, right? From the way she's talking, right, and the things she's saying, it looks like she almost blames herself for Yuna, I guess, separating herself from her. But Yuna then goes to Goha company in order to talk to Phaser and get information, but she doesn't meet Phaser, she meets Manabu and Nyandestar. Now, one thing that a lot of us talked about was, since Phaser hates aliens so much, would Nyandestar be with Manabu? And it seems like she would. I guess since, you know, they have aliens that work with agents of MIK, they, I guess, decide to keep those. Because I don't think it's, you know, the case of, oh, Phaser doesn't know that Nyandestar is an alien. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that she is. But Manabu starts acting weird, and at first you think, oh, that it's like a fake Manabu and Nyandestar, right? They get captured. You know, I thought that they got captured, and these were just kind of people that they put in the same way in episode 1, where they brought in the fake UTS, right? They now brought in a fake Manabu and Nyandestar to try to convince Yuna that they're the real ones, but no. It turns out that they're being watched by Phaser, and Manabu is trying his best to make it as obvious as possible that he's acting, but no one understands him apart from Yomu. Yomu instantly picks it up, nobody else does, and they start being, you know, one thing that surprised me was, after Yugioh got betrayed by Chupataro like 3 times in a row, he still considered him a comrade. But Manabu just, you know, does it once, and he doesn't even do it for real, and Yugioh is already mad at Manabu. That was kind of weird, but I get it. It's for the joke, right? So it doesn't really matter that much. But we get into the duel. Yuna says that if she wins, she wants Manabu to tell her where Phaser is. If Manabu wins, he can turn her into a card, which realistically you could have at that point said you can do whatever you want, but as we learn at the end, it doesn't matter, because if you lose to a maximum, you just get to turn it to a card. And we see the debut of Yuna's deck, which is Celebros, obviously a kind of hint at Seventh Road, right? Celebros. And we learned that she built that deck with Yugioh, which is really cool. It makes sense. And I love how, you know, Yugioh comes in and says, oh, you're building a spellcaster deck. And Yuna's like, I'm not like inspired by you. I just wanted to build this deck. I thought that was very funny. It's interesting how the show, even though it has a very serious plot right now, it can still mix in jokes fairly well, right? It feels like a transition almost between, you know, you can still see hints of, you know, the last season and the last show, but it definitely seems like we're going a bit more grown up, which I like a lot. The duel itself, really good. We see that Yuna has other personalities in this. Now, for those that haven't watched Sevens, this probably didn't click as much for you. There's some people who watched Sevens and also didn't realize this reference. So, while yes, obviously all of the 6 personalities are the 6 attributes, right? You know, Yuna's light, and then you have so on and so forth. But what's cool is that every single personality is a variant of one of the Goha siblings. So the blue Goha sibling, which represented water, kept saying tuna at the end of every sentence, which is what Eugene, right, the water type Goha sibling, always said as well. And their personality matched, right? The fire one was very fiery, just like Goha Yuka. The dark one seems a bit more ruthless, right? Just like Goha Yuga. So I think there definitely are hinting at that, right? It's them being kind of variations, which I think is really cool, and I like that a lot. But she then fuses into Celebro's Fabulous Magician. It seems like she's gonna win, but Manabu activates a trap, which lowers its attack, and survives. And I love seeing this from Manabu's perspective, and I hope we can see this a little bit more, where, you know, he isn't even thinking that much of the duel, and then he draws his 3 pieces of the maximum, and he's like, damn, I drew it. And, you know, he knows, well, Phaser's probably watching me right now, he probably sees that I have it in my hand, so I have to summon it and somehow pray that Yuna can survive. But, you know, he summons it, and it's a really cool design, as every single one of Manabu's aces. One thing that's very interesting is that obviously Manabu plays a Pyro deck, but this maximum relies on you also having a Thunder and then Aqua, which is weird but kind of a cool concept, and we got 3 new monsters for his deck which support this, so, you know, that doesn't really matter that much. And, you know, Manabu attacks, but obviously he feels guilty about it, which he knows is gonna happen. He knows what is going to happen later. And when he wins, he's about to say, oh, I'll let you off the hook this time, I'm not gonna card you. But Phaser comes in and says, if you get defeated by maximum, you have to be carded. And yeah, Yuna does end up being carded. We see Yuhi completely defeated in some way, right? Because he's seen 2 people now get carded right in front of him. And then we find out the true purpose of why Manabu and Yondastar are doing this, and it's to figure out how exactly the carding process works. I mean, just such a great episode, and it seems like next week we are getting a bit more of a chill episode, right? A little bit more of a calmer episode where it's just Asaka and Yuamu seeing who the better duelist is to become the president. And that's completely fine, right? I feel like we've been going full gas from the start. Having one episode to kind of calm down, I think that's completely fine. But yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts in the comments. Did you like the episode? Did you hate it? Your thoughts on the result. I know it's kind of controversial, but yeah, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next week.